From the beautiful city, Chicago, Illinois, Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. As Paul Konerko, Juan Pierre, Omar Vizquel and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with the tough against us Cleveland Indians. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrell, as we get set to bring you Game 2 of this three-game series. In the opener last night, Fausto Carmona was just too tough. They won that ball game 7-3. So the Sox now are 7-9 against Cleveland this year. Indians had a tough time against everybody except us. But the Sox are 86-74, 12 games over. And tonight, Mark Buehrle on the bump.
Mark Buehrle trying to even it at 13-13. He's got a personal 4-game losing streak, and everybody wants to finish 500. Unless you're at 500, then you'd like to finish a game over. And for Ozzie Guillen, there's some ramifications for this one because he's got to win 2 games to get to 600. He certainly would like to do that this year. On the other side of the field, Carlos Carrasco goes to the mound. He's a talented youngster who came over in the Cliff Lee deal, and I think he's going to be pretty good. He's a middle-of-the-order rotation guy who's thrown the ball well at times, and we're going to see a pretty good sinker, one that he worked on in AAA. So it should be a nice game here this evening. Hopefully Mark Buehrle can even it at 13-13.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Presented by Allstate. For tonight's game, 5 lucky contestants had a chance to win a new car. 5 keys were chosen, and you're looking at Stephen Kennedy. He was the winner of a brand new Mazda 6. Has to be a very ecstatic and very lucky young man. I'm sure he's calling the family and saying, "You're not going to believe this, but I'm going to drive a new car home." Now that is a very good night for that young man. White Sox take the field, and we'll show you how Manny Acta is going to line up his Cleveland Indians for this, the second of a 3-game series. Lee Brantley leading it off with Asdrubal Cabrera hitting second. Then it's Chu, Duncan, Nix, Laporta at first, Marte, Crow, and Chris Jimenez behind the plate. The defense behind Mark Burley, left to right, Pierre, Diaza, and Tien in the infield. Morel, Vizquel, Lillibridge, and Viciedo. Tyler Flowers gets the nod behind the plate. And the Toyota starting pitcher is Mark Burley, who's looking for win number 13. He wants to even it up before this year is done. And this, his last start, his 33rd of the year, already clocking in at 204 innings. The game conditions, 53 degrees, 63% humidity. It was raining before the game. Not so right now. Gusts to 35 miles an hour, so they're very much a factor. Temperatures from yesterday dropped about 25 degrees. It's windy and very chilly. The umpires, Dan Iassogna behind the plate. John Tempenny is at first. Jerry Meals at second, and Corey Blazer is at third. So they throw the ball around the infield. We're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to throw it over to my play-by-play partner, Hawk Harrelson.
All right, Stone Pony, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox Baseball. Right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Second of the three-game set, and just two more remaining in the 2010 season. So Mark Burley gets set to face Michael Brantley, 23-year-old center fielder. Brantley comes in hitting at .241, 3 homers. He's driven in 22. Takes ball 1. Indians are 69 and 91. Come in hitting at .248 as a team with a 4.27 team ERA. As there's a strike. But as we talked about in the opening, this Indian ball club has just worn us out this year. They are 9-7 against us.
When you consider how they played against everybody else, you can then realize how tough it's been for us to beat a team that is just having a real tough year. There's Manny Acta. Manny is signed through 2012 with a club option for 13. He's a very good manager and plans to be here for a bit.
And there's a base hit right back to the middle. So good speed aboard. Maybe he can pick him off.
Well, you hope that Brantley gets a little adventuresome on the base paths. He does have good speed, and aggressive base runners are prone to get picked up.
And that'll bring up the switch hitting shortstop as Drupal Cabrera hitting at .274. 3 homers. He's driven in 28. Cabrera last night was 3 for 5. Takes that one high and wide. Lifetime against Burley. 27 at bats, has 5 hits, all of which have stayed in the park. And the first of a doubleheader at Fenway. Yankees leading Boston 6-4 in the 7th inning. Tien tracking right at the edge of the track. And that's out number 1. So with 1 out, that'll bring up the best player on this team, Shin-Soo Choo. Choo hitting at .300, 22 homers. He's driven in 90.
You might fool him on a slider if you're left-handed, but he's not going to give you an inch. He handles left-handers pretty well.
Well, left-handers this year have hit .269 off Mark.
Well, I think next year, and it's a constant game of adjustment, he might want to think about throwing a few more straight changes to him.
Fouls that one back.
Especially when you can throw that fastball in on their hands and keep it above the belt. More times than not, you're going to have a good shot at it.
And in case you're just getting home to not here, San Diego making it interesting over there, as they beat the Giants 4-2. They beat them 6-4 last night, 4-2 this afternoon. And of course, Atlanta was losing to Philly 5-0. That game in the bottom of the 8th inning. So it's going to make it interesting for Atlanta as well.
Well, unfortunately, a little too interesting as far as the wild card is concerned, because they would be a dead tie in the wild card race. If Atlanta does indeed go down, it appears that they will. That's the standing so far. The San Diego, a game back of the Giants, and will be dead even with Atlanta.
He got a good pitch to hit right there. Fouls it away, upper tank left side. Yes, sir. That is coming down to some kind of finish over there in the West.
Especially when you think if San Diego wins tomorrow, then they've got to play one more game with San Francisco to see who wins that division. Then conceivably, they might have to travel to Atlanta to play them to see who wins the wild card.
Yeah, ate him up. And they turn it. Nicely done. And that'll retire the side. Good pitch by Burley after having to play. It's Cleveland. Nothing in the good guys. Coming to bat.
With Paulie the DH tonight in the 3 spot, the Viciato, Tien, Flowers, Morel, Diaza, and Brent Lillibridge playing second, hitting 9. The defense, and now they'll line up behind Carrasco, Crow, Brantley, and Chu left to right with Marte, Cabrera, Nix, and Laporta. Jimenez behind the plate. And the Toyota starting pitcher is Carlos Carrasco, on for his 7th start, 2-1 record, a fine ERA of 3 1/4. You see 29 strikeouts, just 11 walks. Those are pretty good numbers. And you're going to see a good sinker, which he worked on in AAA and he didn't have before, along with a changeup and a slider to go with it.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. Juan Pierre will lead it off, hitting at 273, a homer. He's driven in 44. Juan 1 for 4 last evening. Sox come in at 86 and 74. There's a bunt, fouled away. And the Sox hitting at 267 as a club with a 4.10 team ERA. Sox are 43 and 36 here at home.
Not a bad idea for Juan, realizing that Marte has not had a whole lot of play at third base.
One and one to count in here at beautiful US Cellular Field. 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center. Takes the bunt, takes the ball, and the count 2-1. There's a souvenir left side. What new?
Pretty good movement on the part of Carrasco with that fastball. And if it keeps moving away from the left-handers, there's going to be a lot of foul balls up the left side. The ball moved a good 3-4 inches and it moved late.
And that's high. For a full count.
This is a combination you can run against, and Juan Pierre is going to test it out. Jimenez does not have a great arm or a great release. Let's see if Juan can get aboard, and then it's off to the races.
And there's ball 4. So good speed aboard with those 66 fifths. Carrasco just 23 years old. 6'3", 220 pounds, out of Venezuela. He was 10-6 down at Columbus this year with a 3.65 ERA. So here's Omar. We'll check it up. Bobbled. Everybody's going to be safe. Throw the 12th error committed by Cabrera. Got tried to do a little too much too quick.
I think he thought about 2, and odds are overwhelming you're not going to get 2 here. So you make sure of 1, then you worry about 2, and on this last hop, as he was going to flip it to second base, nothing doing, and Jerry Meals had to get down in a hurry in case Cabrera thought the only play was at first, as he was looking right in Meals' eyes.
So here's Paulie. Paulie hitting at .312, 39 homers, 111 driven in.
Well, you'd love to see him get number 40 and get that out of the way before tomorrow, before late in tomorrow's game.
Yep. Outfield straight up, spread out, about equidistant. Takes one away, ball 1.
Carrasco's given up 5 home runs this year in 38 2/3 innings, so that's a fairly high total. There you look at the offensive numbers, and what a year it's been for Paul. For his rankings in the American League, he's right up there near the top in just about all of the important ones.
Strike on the outside corner to even the count at 1.
With runners in scoring position, Paul has been just as good as he's been in every other category.
That ball hit into right field. Pierre is tagging. And here's the throw to third, off the mark. Very strong throw by Chu, who's got a terrific arm.
Anybody with a little less speed than Juan Pierre, you got to think twice about running on this guy. Well, that throw is off the mark, but it had a whole lot on it coming to third base. You see Jeff Cox saying get down. Most coaches will also give you the direction in which they want you to slide depending on which way the ball's coming in. 14 outfield assists for Chu, leads all the major leagues.
That's 14 outfield assists. That's just a combination of bad base running and some bad base coaching.
That's a lot of guys taking off base in a year.
Well, you know what you got out there is there's a strike on the outside corner to Tank. DeCieto hitting it .299, 4 homers. He's driven in 12.
Every scouting report says you can go on this guy, don't go on this guy, or you have to be absolutely certain to run on this guy. He's one of those guys you just don't go on too often.
Oh, and 1 to count. Runners at the corners, 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Jimenez with the pick.
He wanted a sinker inside. That's where they've been throwing Viciedo. With runners in scoring position. Pretty impressive. 6 hits and 16 at-bats for a guy getting his first look at Major League pitching. But they've been trying to throw that sinker in, getting him to hit the ball to the left side on the ground.
That one hangs a little too much inside. I wish it missed about 6 inches more out over the plate. It probably would have been hit very hard. Just a decent lead by Omar. Takes off, and that pitch is fouled down. So 2-2 the count.
Not a bad idea running on this combination, because if Viciedo does put the ball in play, you're going to get a run because you're not going to be able to turn 2.
And the 2-2 pitches. He takes off again. There's a throw down. There comes one. He's going to score standing up. And it's 1-0. Good guy.
Viciedo thought that breaking ball was up high. I told you that the Sox are going to run on Jimenez. And because that throw was in the dirt, no chance to get Vizquel, but Juan just kind of coasts home.
Well, anytime a guy scores standing up on that play, you have mishandled. Yeah. Just that simple. And that's Omar Vizquel's 400th stolen base. Juan Pierre, of course, has got 522 of them. Pick him up. Yeah, when the guy scores standing up, you screwed up.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you even make that throw, knowing the speed of Pierre at third.
Well, that's the whole key, the speed of Pierre, because there's 6 ways to defend that play, and throwing through is not one of them.
Not a good one with him there.
Even with 2 outs, because once Vizquel is going to stop, so that's going to be stop the continuous play.
Yeah. And Juan's coming home.
Yep. That's low 2-1. If you're saying, well, what are the other 5 ways? There's 6 ways to defend that play, and we'll tell you after the pitch what they are. Goes through that one. The first one is, of course, obviously to throw through. That's number 1. The next is to throw back to the pitcher. That's number 2. Next is to throw to the second baseman who's coming in towards home. That's 3. Next is to throw to the shortstop who's coming in to come home. That's 4. The next is a fake to third base. That's 5. And the next one is to throw to third base immediately. That is 6. He gone, but they gave us the run. We'll take it, and we lead it 1-0.
April 1st of 2011 when we take on these tribesmen. A. Jake Peavy, B. John Danks, C. Mark Burley, D. Edwin Jackson, or E. any other pitcher in the world. Text A, B, C, D, or E to 53695. Stick around for the U.S. Cellular White Sox postgame live, or visit csnchicago.com for final results.
First pitch strike to Shelley Duncan, the DH leading off. He comes in hitting at 233, 11 homers and 36 knocked in. You see what he's done against Burley, 3 for 5.
He's another guy, doesn't appear to do real well against a whole lot of teams, but against us he does hit the ball hard.
He swings the bat well. There he just got eaten up, and Piazza, can of corn, 1 out. That'll bring up the second baseman tonight, Jason Nix. Jason hitting at 236, 13 homers and 29 driven in. And that ball, as we have seen Jason do a lot of times, first pitch, hits it hard. Foul. And he just shoves that one to the right side.
That was most un-Nix-like. Doesn't usually go to that side, but was able to do it that time through a vacated right side with Willibridge playing him up the middle. Normally he's a pull hitter.
Well, I was getting ready to say, if he'd have done that a few more times, he'd still be in a White Sox uniform, probably.
I think he's got some talent. It's a shame.
He's got a ton of talent.
Yeah, just a shame he kind of wasted it here.
He has a ton of talent. So here's Laporta, hitting at 223, 12 homers and 41 knocked in. Change up, and the count 0-2.
Porter's grounded into only 12 double plays this year, simply because he hits most everything in the air.
Yes, he did. He gone.
Hart throws a cutter. And he got it. Good movement, good late movement on that one.
Andy Marte, third baseman, hitting at 234, 5 homers. He's driven in 19. Nice pitch. Got him way out in front. And that'll retire the side. After an inning and a half, it is 1-0 Sox. watching have gone for Canerco. Jim Andrew, our director and crew, going with Viciedo, the tank. Stone Pony's going with Diaza. And the 2 million plus fans this year, our White Sox fans, the 2 million plus, have braved some terrible weather, especially in April, May, and June. We're going to go with Brent Morel.
Well, a good choice for the fans who defeated me despite getting a tremendously late start in this race. So I figure Brent Morel's as good as any. Me, I could have the rest of the field and not win it.
So here it's Tyler Flowers. They did start late.
They just started very late.
They just blew your doors off.
Sprinted right by.
That's up high in the count, 2-0 to Tyler. Tyler now 0 for 8 since being called up from Charlotte. As Ozzie was talking about last night, he's had some good at-bats. He had a couple of walks in the game last evening. Three and 0 the count. And that's up high, so the leadoff walk last inning crossed home plate.
Well, Jimenez is going to go out there, and if he doesn't get the message across, then it's going to be Tim Belcher. They're going to have to tell Carrasco that he's getting under the ball. That's the reason why everything is staying up high. When you get under the ball, you can't possibly get any downward tilt on it. And if he stays there, he's going to have problems with his control all night. There's a look at Tim.
A good man, a good baseball man. He was a good, solid teammate, and he was one of the mean guys on the mound. He would protect his hitters. He was a 2-for-1 guy. You hit one of his guys, he's going to get 2 of yours. There are the numbers on Brent. 1 for 4 last night with a homer off Carmona.
And his defense has been nothing short of spectacular at third base.
And if you missed that home run last night, here's the first pitch he's seen from the big 6'4" right-hander who's tough on right-handed hitters.
Trying to get a fastball in on his hands. Instead it went off the pole.
That ball was way inside and he kept it fair. Not by much, but fair. Count hangs at 0-2, and a reminder, the first 25,000 fans tomorrow will receive a Dick's Sporting Goods game card worth $10 off any purchase of $50 or more. Dick's Sporting Goods now with 18 convenient Chicago area locations. And remember, every season starts at Dick's. That's up high. Yeah, he made a couple plays, especially one last night. Just nothing short of spectacular. And of course, spectacular producer Mike Leary has got that for you. Breaking ball. Slowed up, barehanded. Nice play by Cabrera.
This is a do or die for Asdrubal Cabrera. You come in, you barehand it, you throw it in the same motion, or it's a base hit. Once it gets by Carrasco, it becomes a very tough play. Same type of play that Omar Vizquel has made 1,000 times. Got him by a half step at first.
So here's Alejandro. Hitting at .261, no homers. He's driven in one. And here's that play last night that Brent Morel made. Look at that pitch. That ball was actually scalded. And that's the second one he made. That was a piece of cake compared to the first one. 0-2 the count. Hit softly to the right side. Nix. So 2 down, and here comes Lillibridge.
That fastball got right in on Alejandro's hand. That was all he could do to keep it out of there. Good pitch by Carrasco. You see where Jimenez wanted it? That's where Carrasco got it. And you can't do much with it in there.
Grant hitting at .228, a couple of homers. He's driven in 14. Pulled his head again. He had a tough evening last night, taking his head off the ball. When you take your head off the ball, you become a 52, 53-foot hitter. It's tough enough to hit 60-foot big league pitching, but when you're going to go from 52, 53 feet. Whew.
He had the 4-bagger last night.
Yeah, he had to go on some ball. That ball gets away, so here comes that walk. He's walked 2 guys to lead off an inning, and they both have scored. The dreaded leadoff walk, and it's 2-0.
That's the first wild pitch of the year for Carrasco. So we have the oddity here of having a 2-run lead and still looking for our first hit.
Just let him keep walking, guys.
It's walk him leading off. Something's going to happen, either an error or in this case a wild pitch. And you're down 2.
Breaking ball strike and a count 1-2 with Juan Pierre on deck. Bottom of the 8th at Fenway. 5-4 Yankees. Got him. That's 5 punch-outs in a row for Lillibridge. Trevor Crow, switch hitting outfielder, takes a strike. Trevor hitting at .252, a couple of homers, 35 knocked in. He was 2 for 5 last night with a couple of RBIs. Fouls that one away. There's a chopper. Brent's got it. 1 out. And you can watch Comcast Sportsnet White Sox game replays on demand with Xfinity TV from Comcast. So if you miss the action, call 1-800-XFINITY today. Here's Chris Jimenez, the catcher. Lederhosen time.
Just back from the yodeling contest.
There's the strike. Jimenez at 179, a homer. He's driven in 8. And the count very quickly, 0-2.
That's an interesting look.
That's up high. Watch out. Two runs on no hits for our guys. No runs on 2 hits for their guys. There's that curveball. This is down low. Full count. No chance. So the infield single by Jimenez.
Omar thought about it when he got in the hole and then realized that only bad things could happen if he released the ball. There might have been a day when he could have made this play, although it would have always been very tough. But this is not the day.
So here's Brandler. He singled back through the middle to start off the ball game. And there's a base hit chopped by Viciedo. So runners at the corners and 1 out. And that'll bring up Cabrera, who went out to right field.
Cabrera, a switch hitter, a better hitter from the left side. Whatever power he has comes as a left-hand hitter. And he's rounded into 10 double plays this year, which is not a high total. Only 3 of them coming as a right-hand hitter.
Takes that pitch, going away. There's the strike. A ball is striking out here in the top of the 3rd. And there's a base hit. Now here's the throw, cut off. And it's a 2-1 ball game, and same scenario. Runners at first and third, 1 out.
RBI number 29 for Cabrera, who was injured a good part of this season. That ball out away, and he doesn't try to pull it. He does what he should do, take it to right field. Cabrera's a pretty good player. He's proven to be a very dependable shortstop.
And here's Chu. He hit into a 6-4-3 double play to end the 1st inning. Balk is called. And the game is tied at 2.
We've already seen 3 runs scored without the benefit of a hit. Right
That's
there.
a balk.
You can't start up. And that's the timing and the unfamiliarity he has with Tyler Flowers behind the plate.
And there's the strike.
That's 5 balks for Mark this year. The first non-West balk.
Well, that's the first balk. That's the 5th balk called on him. That's the first balk he's committed.
Yes.
Omar with the pirouette, and that's out number 2. So 2 down, that'll bring it Shelley Duncan.
Good play up the middle, especially knowing that Chu can run. Chu was looking for RBI number 91. Omar got there, took his time, and gunned it across.
Takes first pitch strike. And that's chopped foul. And a reminder, this is your chance to win a Freddie Garcia jersey and tell the Sox what you think. Simply log on to your computer and take a quick survey. Your answers are confidential. Visit whitesox.com/survey. And you must complete the survey before tonight's game is over. It's softly into left field. One's there, makes the catch, but they come up with a pair. They tie it at 2.
Name of 7 players from the Indians' 2000 opening day lineup who've worn a White Sox uniform, and that includes a pitcher. You think about that. If you get them all right, you get a big prize, a hearty handshake. And we'll get back to you later in the game with it.
As you check out our All-State tail of the tape here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Juan Pierre will lead it off. He walked and scored in the first. As you can see, we don't have a hit yet. Outfield slightly to the left, gap in right center as he takes ball one. Trevor Crowe extremely shallow in left. This outfield moves around a little more than the Boston outfield.
A lot more. I mean, if you move at all, you move a lot more.
And there's a strike. Snapped by Carrasco, 1 out.
Omar might think about laying down a bunt if Marte isn't playing him shallow enough at third.
And it's foul. Omar reached on an error, then picked up his 400th stolen base, the 11th this season. That's fair. Laporta, and that's 2 out. Well, Carrasco pitched very well against us back on September 1st. 7 in the third, giving up just 2 runs. On 6 hits. Bullpen came in and we won that ball game. 6-4.
He's got good stuff, and he was one of the keys to the deal that sent Cliff Lee to the Philadelphia Phillies.
Gets a breaking ball over to Paulie. Paulie went out to right field. But in essence, that got the job done because Pierre tagged, went into third base. And the count very quickly, 0-2. Red Sox have tied up the Yankees at 5. That game going to the 9th inning.
Yeah, it's a huge game for Tampa Bay.
They're leading 3-0, bottom of the third in Kansas City.
And the Yankees have another game to follow with those pesky Sox.
Got him. So a 1-2-3 inning for Carrasco, and we're into the 4th, tied at 2. 2-5-1 for the Indians. 2 runs, no hits, no errors for our Sox. As Nix fouls that one back. He's 1 for 1. He just muscled a single between first and second. Right over the top. Gun. Vavoom. 1 out.
Well, it's good to see that Brent Morrell can go to his right, because we know for sure he can go to his left. And once he gets there and he has to get a little extra, he pours it across.
I love to see good on.
Boy, that's a really good one. And accurate from either the side or over the top.
Laporta into left field. One is there. Makes another nice catch.
Took that base hit right off the grass. Turned it into the second out of the inning. Nice play by Juan. A sinking line drive.
Even though he's only been here for 1 year now, he's become one of my favorite White Sox players. He just, I'm telling you, he is fun to watch. You know, like you and I see him every day, how hard he works.
Yeah.
It's just a great thing to see.
His contract does run through next year.
Well, as Dan Jiggets, the big man, was saying, it's a beautiful thing. 0-2. I know Mully's happy about it.
Be a lot happier with a couple of hits.
Yeah, Juan Pierre is fun to watch. Here's a guy who leaves every ounce of it right out there on that field. Each and every day. Aaron. He gone. 1-2-3 inning for Mark. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th.
An opening day lineup who've worn a White Sox uniform, which includes a pitcher. And they are Kenny Lofton, Omar Vizquel, Roberto Alomar, Andy Ramirez, Jim Thome, Sandy Alomar Jr., and Bartolo Colon. Some real good players in that group. Well, the Indians had some great teams. They just could never quite get the job done. They got close, but they couldn't get there.
They just didn't have the pitching. Didn't have the pitching. If they had had the pitching, they may have won. With that ball club, they may have won 3-4 world championships.
Wasn't Charles Nagy one of the guys that was on those teams?
Yeah, Nagy was there for a long time.
Right.
Well, he's the guy that worked on the sinker for Carrasco at AAA.
That ball hit hard to right field. Stretch, get away. It will. Thank you very much. Now you can cancel the post-game show if you're just tuning in, because that's our first hit here in the bottom of the fourth inning. The leadoff double by the Tank.
A right-handed right fielder might have had a shot at this. As 2 goes over, he has to try to backhand it. Can't quite get the glove across his body. A rope of a line drive slicing away from him in the right field corner, and a promising way to start this fourth.
Here's 10. He struck out his first trip. High and wide. Yankees did not score in the top of the ninth. Bill Hall hitting, leading off the bottom of the ninth against Phil Hughes.
There's a broken bat.
And that's not going to get him over. That's low, 2-1. Minnesota beat Toronto 5-4 at Target Field. Two and two the count to 10.
That's pretty good straight change, as Minnesota wins their 53rd game at home.
Well, when you start talking about 53, I remember back in Kansas City was Kansas City, George Brett time zone, and Houston when they had all that good pitching. Larry Durgers, the Don Wilsons, where they had some good ones. Those guys, it seemed like won anywhere from 53 to 58 games every year at home.
Well, if you do that, then you can go on the road, play a little over 500, and you wind up in the mid-90s or high 90s every year. And the rain has started to come down here at U.S. Cellular Field.
They did not think it was going to come, as that's popped up left side. Go and foul ground makes the catch, so 10 cannot get him over. And that's out number one. They weren't expecting any rain till around 8:30.
Well, the one thing I think we're going to have to work on with Roger over the winter, he's great with the field. We're going to have to work on his prognostication just a touch. It's only 7:07.
Well, I wasn't going by what Roger said. I was going by what my iPad said.
Well, Roger was controlling your iPad. 8 or 8:30, huh? Well, maybe this will be a fairly light little shower, just to moisten down the infield.
And the Captuna, good eye by Tom. Yeah, this is just passing through.
Good.
Not much to it. Unless it's going south, and that's a different story. If it's going south, we'll be able to be here. for a while. And the count 3-0.
Lesko on the verge of his third walk. And the first two scored.
The 3-0. And that's ball 4. Tyler's walked twice. That's 4 walks in the last 2 games.
Our Allstate Good Hands replay. The last time that Morel came to bat in the second inning. Gets it right by Carrasco. But Cabrera right there. Catch it and throw it in the same motion. And he gets him by an eyelash at first. Our Allstate Good Hands replay.
So 2 on, 1 out, and here's Brent. Brent got it out to Cabrera on that play. Oh, good rip. Just underneath it.
Got a high fastball. I don't think Carrasco wanted to throw it there. That one that was drifting back in over the plate.
Well, he barreled it up just underneath it. And that ball hit into right field. Viciedo's going to tag. And he will get into third. That's out number 2. So we couldn't get him over the third. And now they're 2 out. And here's Diaza. All right, Alejandro, right man, right time, right spot, right place, right now.
Well, with the infield as slick as it is, with the rain and all, it's going to be wet baseball if Alejandro decides to bunt. He's been very good this year at drag bunting. If he can get it past Carrasco on the right side, it's a run.
That's into left field. Get over his head, it will. Thank you very much. Boy, he was playing really shallow. So now they're going to hold Flowers up at third on the double by Diaza. As the Tank scores and the Sox lead it 3-2. Don't stop now, boys.
Second run batted in. Diaza got a fastball low and away and drilled it over Crow's head. And he was exceptionally shallow. This wasn't a very deep fly ball, but he had no chance.
And here's Lillibridge. Man, really struggling. Last 5 at bats, 5 strikeouts. Been there and done that. Takes low ball 1. There's a base hit. Nice going. That's the way to break that streak. That'll score a pair. And it's a 5-2 Sox lead. He's glad to see some contact.
Well, he makes some contact. Good things happen. He's got 16 runs driven in. He got a fastball on the outer third. Now brings Tim Belcher out to talk with Carrasco.
All 3 walks have scored. So here's one. He has walked, scored, and bounced back to Carrasco. 5-3-0 for us, 2-5-1 for them. There goes Brent. There's the throw. He gone. But a crooked number goes up on that board, and we'll go to the 5th leading by 3. $5 foot-long subs from Subway. One and one to count.
Yeah, with the rain a little harder, you start thinking about getting 3 outs and making sure it's an official game.
Change up. Crow grounded out to Morrell at third. Broken bat, sucked up, and 1 out. And a reminder, the first 25,000 fans in attendance tomorrow will receive a New England coffee card redeemable for $2 off your next retail purchase from New England Coffee. Family coffee roaster since 1916. It's a home run for Chicago. Chris Jimenez. A little soft infield single and scored back in the third. Takes first pitch strike. Tyler Flowers got a shot. Yeah.
That's an easy ball to overrun. He didn't do it. Got to be careful as you get close to that rubberized on-deck circle over there, especially when it's wet. Right there. Pretty easy to trip. You have a lot of paraphernalia you have to navigate around. He was able to do it.
So here's Brantley. He is 2 for 2 with a run scored. Scored on a balk by Burley. And the count 0-2. Mark making his 33rd start. What a performer he has been for this organization.
I just love the fact that each and every year you can pretty much pencil in 200+ innings, hand him the baseball, doesn't miss any starts, and gets you over 200 innings.
What he does on the field is only about half of what his value is to this organization as far as what he does in that clubhouse.
Do you think there's any seriousness to his idea that he'll play the length of his contract and perhaps retire?
Yeah. Yeah, I really do. Jeez. I hope not, but I believe it. Marks. That's a nice pitch. Ate him up. And that is 3 up, 3 down. He has retired 8 in a row.
You see it. It's an official game, and it's a 3-run lead, despite the fact that we've been out hit 5-3 by the Tribe.
Curveball strike to Juan Pierre. Juan has walked, scored, and bounced back to the pitcher. 5-2 Sox as there's a back door. And the count 0-2. High and wide. And watch out. Souvenir.
Looks like the Yankees might have scored in that top of the 10th with Papelbon in the game.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me. They are leading 6-5, still hitting. As he gets him, so that is out number 1. 4th strikeout for Carrasco. Papelbon goes off.
He really had a tough September.
They got 5 strikeouts for Carrasco. And here's Omar, 0 for 2. Curveball down low. Yeah, Papelbon is. I talked to, as I know you did, some Red Sox people. Really down on him, big time.
Well, look, he can probably get you a whole lot if you're looking at making your club better. By making a deal, you've got Daniel Bard standing right there, ready to take that job. Papelbon will bring you a bunch.
Well, that's who all the Red Sox people that I talked to, that's who they want in there. It's Bard. First of all, he's got better stuff than Papelbon.
And you give him that opportunity, and he probably will blossom. When you can throw 100 and have as good a breaking stuff as he has, you have a tendency to be able to come around.
That ball hit deep into right field, but not deep enough. And that's out number 2, and that'll bring up Pauly. Pauly is 0 for 2. He's gone out to right and struck out. Takes ball 1.
.216 career home runs right here. You see, 2/3 of the home runs he's hit this year right here at U.S. Cellular Field. So he takes advantage of his home ballpark. Great place to hit.
Minnesota thinks so.
Well, I've talked to a lot of hitters from other teams, and they think that this hitting background is as good as any hitting background in all of baseball. Not to mention the fact that if you can take it from the foul line to just past the bullpen, the ball just flies out of here, especially when it's warm.
2 out, 1 and 2 the count to Pauly. And the 2-2 delivery. Got him. And that'll retire the side. We'll go to the 6th, leading 5-2. Astros and Joakim Noah for the quest for an NBA championship. Preseason action kicks off Tuesday at 7 with Bulls-Bucks live from Milwaukee. Tuesday night at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet. Just around the corner, the Bulls. We got just around the corner a week from today. The Hawks, when they put that Stanley Cup championship banner up on the rafters.
Anytime you feel that chill in the air here in sunny Chicago, you know that it's time for us to exit and the other boys to take center stage for a while. But middle of February will be here before you know it.
1-1 pitch to Cabrera. Hit hard but foul. The count 1-2. Well, it's always sad to a degree for me when the season's over. When I was a player, I made it like it was almost like it became a ritual. I was always the last guy out of the clubhouse on the last day of the season. Always, every year.
It's a good thing you didn't have a guy that took the same philosophy you had, or you'd still be there.
That's right. It's still been on the bus. It's just like we won the thing. We won the division in Minnesota that year. We celebrated pretty good after that game was over.
Imagine.
And if it hadn't been for DJ, when they dropped us off at the hotel out of the airport, I'd still been on that bus. He did not go. There's DJ.
They had a very good year on the radio this year. Ed looking around wondering just exactly what we're saying.
That's J.J. Shearer on the left. I don't know who's on the right. That's fouled off.
That's the Ruby family.
That was J.J. Shearer.
Yes, but there's some other folks in there, as there usually are. There they go.
Payoff pitch. And he walks it. I bet if that's the first walk issued by Mark. I bet when we went back this season, he counted his leadoff walks. This would probably be his high since he's been in a White Sox uniform. As the rain really starting to come down now.
Well, that's why Roger was kind of hanging around. He had, between innings, he had his crew there.
And there's a soft single right in the hole by Chu. So trouble of brewing. He'll all walk the leadoff man. Something bad's probably going to happen.
There's Roger. He probably has that weather forecast, and never a good sign when the boys start pouring out of the tunnel.
No, he gets them out there on point.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. But
his game is official.
It is official.
Or else we would have played a doubleheader tomorrow. That had been rained out. Eddie Caston's nightmare, that would have been.
Well, but the good thing about our boys here at Comcast is they were behind us all the way. They'd have been here tomorrow as long as it took to get that game in.
You know, you can go to hell for lying like you can for stealing. Pops him up. Omar. One out.
Umpires will wait on a call like that until they see that shortstop with his back to the outfield, facing the infield, in control of that, and then they call the infield fly rule.
So here's Jason Nix, who has singled to right, and he is grounded out. Morel made a good play on him. Into center field. Piazza. Can he double him up? Didn't get much on the throw, and it was off the mark anyway. But 2 out.
Now, had he been able to plant his feet, he'd have gotten it. But he came on. Fortunately, that ball did hang up. Last thing you want to do is see a 2-run game with Laporta coming up. Nice play by Piazza. They didn't have a chance to set. Had he had a chance to set, it would have been 2. But that off-balance throw from the outfield, couldn't get it there.
Laporta has struck out, and he is lined hard to Pierre in left field. Can't get the changeup. And that's inside.
I love when it rains like this. Makes my gray car black again.
Spend some money, would you? Hey, Christmas, you got the dirtiest cars.
Hey, I have another car.
Buy white.
This one has never been dirty.
Buy white.
A white car. Then you won't notice it
as much. You know, you can get a good wash for $6 or $7.
It's true. Not downtown though. $7.50.
Oh, that's way out of your range.
I was just waiting for a prolonged dry spell here. We didn't have many of those this year. Those prolonged dry spells. The rain is really coming down now.
Yeah. And that's low, 2-2. So 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And it starts bouncing off the roof. It's got a little momentum. He gone. Pitches out of it. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. It is 5-2 good guys.
By a wide margin, it's Mark Burley. You still have time to vote. The final results will be on the U.S. Cellular White Sox postgame live. You can text A, B, C, D, or E to 53695. So they're keeping this one going.
Yeah, if they don't, just checking the radar here, it wouldn't be out of here until
long after we're out of here.
Well, about 11:45. The clouds and the front is coming. It's coming straight south. Meanwhile, here's the Tank. He started off that 3-run fourth with a double. And that was our first hit. He just lined a shot into the right field corner. Checks it up. He did not go.
Even with the drying compound on the mound, it's not real easy to keep good footing. We'll put the drying compound around the batter's box and around the mound between innings.
Took something off that breaking ball. And the count 2-2. And it's easier than ever to find the seats you want or sell to the tickets to games you want to go. You can make it on StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the White Sox. You'll find great seats and great service on StubHub. Let's foul straight back to our right. So the count hangs at 2-2.
There's a man who's prepared. He's prepared for the worst, and so is Southpaw.
Full count to Viciado. All 4 base hits, eh? That ball hit hard. Stay fair. He looks up. You can put it on the board. Yeah. A bullet. A 3-2 get me over breaking ball. Mercy. And it's a 6-2 Sox lead. Yeah.
The ball was hit too hard to hook foul. By the time that ball started hooking, it was out of the park. The 5th and the 13th run batted in. Our 4th home run replay. It's a slider that doesn't slide until it slides out of the yard.
Well, that ball's either going to stay straight like it did, or it's going to hook like a son of a gun if those seams catch the air wrong. And that one stayed straight.
Well, he hit the dry side.
When you hit it that hard, he's a strong man. 0-2 the count to Tien. That was number 5 for the Tank. And of course, with that home run by the Tank, the Alex Nelius family will donate $100 to White Sox charities for every Sox homer hit throughout the course of the season. That is number 176, so $17,600 donated by Alex Nelius in loving memory of Ursula. (3-2) getting me over breaking balls. That is a blue plate special for hitters.
Well, especially when that ball came in, all it had was sideward spin on it. It was supposed to be a slider, just didn't do much. But the hand just cranked it.
One down. Mark now 0 for 3. And it'll bring up Flowers. Tyler has walked twice and scored twice. Takes ball one. Strike just on the outside edge of the outside corner. Can't get the curveball.
Bullpen up and going. It's Herman.
And the Yankees won that game 6-5 in 10 innings. First of a doubleheader. $23,702 paid.
"95 pitches already. We're not through the sixth. For Flowers, a night of no contact, but a night of a couple of walks and a couple of runs scored.
Brent does not get the fastball. Breaking pitch in the count, 0-2. That's a fair ball just over the bag. So he's going to make it into second. That'll be his third two-bagger.
That's what you like to see. Guy's going to throw the ball away from you. That ball's off the plate. But you're up there protecting. Take it right down the line. Good call. That ball had the bag. And turns into two for Brent.
And that's the Joe Creedy shot right there. That's the play right there, the swing that made Joe Creedy a good hitter. 2 strikes. That pitch, it was too close to take, even though it was outside. You either fight it off or occasionally get yourself a base hit like Brent just did.
Well, first baseman is not going to play him on the line unless it's a no double set late. You don't do it in a 6-2 game this early. And that's the 5th Sox hit.
Foul back. And a reminder, the first 25,000 fans tomorrow will receive a Cardinal Fitness game card. All kinds of game cards being given out tomorrow. So stop into a Cardinal Fitness with your game card and get a membership for as low as $10 a month. One and two the count to Alejandro.
Down to 46 degrees. But at least it's really raining hard.
Well, it doesn't feel like it.
No, it feels like 36. Well,
not for me.
Okay, well, you have climate control up here.
That's it. There you go. That's into one of the super suites.
That one flew right by the LG Skyline Club seats into the suite.
And you can place your deposit now for a 2011 full or partial season ticket plan and be among the first to select your seat location. You can gain access to the best seats available at US Cellular Field and take advantage of all the benefits that a season ticket holder of the Chicago White Sox enjoys. So call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. And there's another souvenir. don't see that very often on this field.
No, that means that the rain is really coming down hard.
Just got a piece of that one. Baltimore leading Detroit 2-1, top of the 8th inning. Trying to go 34-22 under Buck Showalter. Got him. But the home run by the Tank. And we'll go to the 7th, leading 6-2. Walsh, Gary Mager, and everyone else in the offices. Field video crews from camera, audio, graphics, replays, technical, and engineering staff. They all do such a fantastic job over the course of 81 home games. And from the White Sox, Scott Reifert, Bob Bechtel, Pat O'Connell, Ray Garcia, Greg Hopwood, Don Esposito, and Bob Graham. All these people just invaluable to what we try to do for you, bringing these 81 home games. Also our Comcast Sportsnet crew. Certainly our condolences and heartfelt prayers go out to Sarah Kustok, who does such a great job for us from her tragic loss. Chuck Garfine, our Chuck, the dapper one. Bill Melton, the Big Hurt, Frank Thomas, and all the studio staffers. They all do such a wonderful job on the pre- and post-game shows. Guys who have filled in on a lot of our shows: Todd Benjaminson, John Walsh, John Waldron, Kian Dowlat-Sahi, Kat Lysick, and, of course, our main production team. The man who runs this booth, our stage manager, the mayor, Mean Joe Groove. Our technical manager, who's just the best, Mark Harper. Our associate producer, who's been with us a long time, Dave Ross. Our director, Jim Angie, and I have been together now for,
100 years.
Well, let me see, about 26 years. And our producer, a young man who is no longer a budding star. He is a star. And what he does, Mike Leary. And our executive producer, Jim Corno Jr. And, of course, the president of Comcast Sportsnet, who just went in the Chicago Hall of Fame. And a man who certainly deserves it. A man who's been instrumental in Chicago sports for over a quarter of a century. Jim Corno Sr. And to all, a tremendous thank you. From Stone Pony and I, especially, for all the great work that you do. We thank you. And all season long for another spring training. For my partner Steve Stone, this is the Hawk. So long, everybody, until spring training right now. Stay tuned for the White Sox post-game live.